So, some pretty cool people here, huh? Yep, a lot of smart people in the room, a lot of wisdom in the room. And the 10-minute talks, I'm going to really build a whole platform around 10-minute talks with really useful ideas of things that people are already doing, best practices in all different areas of business and in life, because there's so much information out there. You just want really good, valuable, distilled wisdom. Okay, where's Mr. Tim Paulson? Over here? Come on up. Give it up for Tim.
Thank you.
Now,
thank you.
Those of you that have never met Tim actually, we did a Nightingale Conant program together, and it is still the #1 selling marketing program in Nightingale Conant. We've outbeat everyone.
Dan Kennedy and others.
Oh yeah, Seth Godin and Jay Abraham and everyone.
How many of you have heard that program? Just curious. Good for you.
Yep, and that program is available for a fee. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. We should be like bundling that into something, right?
Yeah.
You'd think.
It's the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah. I guess with you. That's a whole. Anyway. All right. So Tim, we've been doing Better Your Best since the very beginning. We have
2001, 2002.
Yeah, we've given away over 10, 11 cars.
You say we loosely. I like to think that I had something to do with it, but they were always your cars.
It's true. That's true. And so this year we're going to give the option of as I like how he eloquently decreased the value of Joe's used car. But we have my Land Rover, and it wasn't until just a couple days ago where I thought, can we make the Necker trip work? And so I talked to Eunice, and I said, yeah, let's do the Necker trip. So what everyone's going to get up here and talk about, though, is how they really took a period of 3 months last year to 3 months this year, and they documented. Because one of the things, when people have joined our Platinum group, and we created Platinum 2.0, and we're going to have a different version of that this year. And we'll talk about that later. And it's not going to be a sales pitch. It's actually going to be a shifting of how we think will be the best thing for people that want to multiply their growth and their progress. And we're going to continue on with the finalists, and we're going to do some cool stuff because these people made it happen. And they actually, when people say they want results, well, you want to get better results in your marketing or any area of life, measure it. Okay, and I came up with the contest model because I was Bill Phillips's marketing consultant for many, many years. He started these physique transformation contests. I started working with Bill in 1997. He was giving away Corvettes and all kinds of stuff for physique transformation contests, and I saw how much it caused people to put effort into transforming their body when you give them a goal. Because as much as we can teach people about goal setting, most people still don't follow through. Basically, when we give people goals and say, hey, here's a car, here's a trip to Necker, whatever, which I didn't obviously say that till just now, but they seem to put more into it. And so what I learned is that if you want to increase your results, first off, measure it. Everything measured improves. Everyone's heard that. Everything measured and reported improves exponentially. So we created a reporting mechanism where there's accountability. And if you want to take everything we're doing here, become accountable for it. Every sort of system has some level of accountability and it has some reward system. Contests create competitiveness. Think about sports without competition, without rewards. Think about the Olympics without it. It works in all particular areas of life. And if you want to get in better shape, sign up for a marathon. Enter some sort of contest. And so we created a contest and we reward people, but this one is really about people bettering their best. I'm fine? Okay. You're going to spank him. I like that. All right. So one of the things I learned, and everyone that's been in Platinum, anyone that's heard me talk about it's already heard me say this. And for some people who have never heard this, I've thought, say you exercise, how many people in the room have some sort of exercise, cardio, lifting weights, yoga, stretching, whatever? Okay, great. And if you exercise, say, 3 hours a week, 3 days a week, an hour at a time, as an example, and you only got 3 hours to work out during an entire work week, if you don't, and say you're lifting weights, what is one thing that you can change if you didn't change your diet, the amount of time in the gym, the amount of weight, the amount of sleep you get, if you didn't change any of those things, but you could change one thing that would dramatically increase your results, what would that one thing be? Intensity. Yep. I should have said those that know the answer, don't yell it out. But intensity, yeah. Thank you, Darren. And he should know. He's been in the group for like 9 years, right? All right. So basically, yeah, I see $60 walking up here. Okay, this is great. All right. So, so basically, if you increase the intensity, everything improves. So these individuals that you're about to hear from, I mean, I cannot put into words the level of thinking, effort, strategy, documentation that they put in to making their businesses better. And they're going to talk about it. And whoever does the very best job, they are competing to be a spokesperson. And as a spokesperson, it happens to come with the prize. They get the cool car or they get the trip to Necker Island. But they're really competing for a spokesperson contest so that they can go out and encourage other entrepreneurs to do better in their business. And the bettering their best was competing against themselves. We just happen to have, a bunch of individuals competing against themselves. But even if they don't win the grand prize, everyone here is a winner because they have a blueprint, a map that they've laid out. So Tim's going to talk more about this, and we're going to announce the people.
I'll be brief because we want to announce the 11 finalists in just a minute. But this is just part of the speech, so they'll have up to 5 minutes to speak. We're going to ask each of you to, and we won't pass these out quite yet, but we're going to ask you to vote for the top 1, 2, and 3 whom you feel is a great spokesperson. Who would represent this brand? Is that okay to say? Mm-hmm. Okay. I love marketing, Piranha Platinum.
My favorite definition, am I on? My favorite definition of brand, if you're going to use the term brand, is by David Ogilvy, which is a personality of your product or service.
Exactly.
And do you think I Love Marketing has some personality? Yeah, absolutely. So
it's a spokesperson contest. Many of you read the essays and you actually voted, and we appreciate that very much. That part of it's closed. Now you're going to hear them speak, and we ask you to rank number 1, 2, and 3 out of the 11. Then we'll collect those, and the next couple of hours we'll be evaluating that. But there's also part of the contest was a contest packet. You don't get to see that. The judges have already seen that and evaluated and scored that. So you might say this person, oh my gosh, she or he crushed it as a spokesperson, but you didn't see everything else. But this is very, very helpful. So they're going to come up. Again, they have up to 5 minutes. They're going to talk, and you'll see are they a great spokesperson for what we're doing here. And then we go from there. By the way, since Joe's not on the stage, I want to say something. This is actually something that came to me about this event. Is this a good event, by the way? It's a good event, isn't it? It's a great event. And I was thinking this morning, I was at the gym, and then I was talking to some of you this morning. I said, when there's a great new song that comes out, there's no new note in that song. There's no new word in that song, right? I mean, it's just kind of a reshuffling of the words and the notes and the pauses in between and all this type of stuff. So there's nothing new. They're all the same notes. And what you guys have done, Dean and Joe, with the before and during and after units, the 8 profit activators, you've taken marketing and created like a really cool song. So congratulations for that. This has been absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so Joe's going to be up here in just a moment, and he's going to announce the 11 finalists. Anybody have any questions? How many of you are going to win this thing tonight? Can we see your hand? Okay, boy. By the way, Joe hasn't announced this yet. There's a second place prize also. It's a cruise for 2 people. We never talk about that. Nobody wants to win that one. It's kind of interesting. But these contests, again, Joe's been doing them. We've been doing them. I helped Joe start at 2001. And so just so that you understand completely what we're doing, you take any, or those who participated, take any 3 to 8 month period last year and compared it to the same 3 to 8 month period this year. And so what they've done is say, this is my contest period. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to implement as much as I can. And then put it in a contest packet, submit it, write an essay about it, speak about it. So what you're seeing is a culmination of that, crushing it for that contest period. So it's actually pretty exciting. I think it's exciting.
I think it's completely exciting.
Okay. So you ready to announce?
I'm ready.
Should there be some sort of music or drum roll or something, or
Just give me a simple beat.
like a finalists announcing music? Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That's really good. Okay. And what we'll do is have you come up, and we'll put everyone on stage, then we have seats on the side. So thank you all. Mr. Jeff Moore.
Come on up, Holster.
All right, we'll do this quick. Susan and Steve Lobsinger.
Come a little
Maybe
faster.
you can help me announce. We'll both do it. How about that?
All right.
Here's Jeff.
Next.
There you go.
Mr. from Maryland, Vance Morris. It's Vance's.
All right.
You do the next one.
All right. Here you go, Vance.
Just saying that.
All right. Lennon and Annette. All right. Annette, where is she? Where's Annette? Annette, give it up. A former Better Your Best winner. She actually won a Corvette. Okay. We've got Angela Free. Thank you.
Mr. Rob and Brenda Edling. Here, you take this. Take that one.
Okay, Kathleen.
Bokrasi.
I'm never going to say it right, ever. I will say it right. I'll get it down. Just about 400 more tries. Thank you. Okay, Darren and Susan Klein. Woo.
There you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark Jammin Jamnick. Come on up, Mark.
Awesome.
There's two names there.
All right, let's see who
They're
we got here.
brothers.
Okay, Greg Spencer.
And then there's another one. There you
And
go.
then Todd Spencer.
Here you go, Mark.
Thank you.
Okay. And last but not least,
Wait, which one do I got? Wesley. Where's Wesley? All right.
you pass those out now, please.
So
Go
you're
ahead
gonna
and pass
have
those out.
you're gonna
Thank
have
you.
these pink forms, and I want you to listen to what everyone shares. They got 5 minutes. If they go over, it counts against them with time. Do we want to do 1 minute before or 30 seconds before we hit the thing? What do you think? 30 seconds. So just hit the chime so they can hear it. Can you do that one time for me? So when you hear that, that means you got 30 seconds to wrap up. And if you go longer, it just means you'll lose. So it just means finish, okay? And so your vote is going to be the last final, because we not only sent out the essays and we've tallied up the people that have voted on the essays, but we also have judges, and we also will have your results from this. So after they're done, we'll turn all of these in, we'll tally them up, and later on today, right around,
About 6 o'clock, I
about
think
6
it is,
o'clock, we will announce the grand prize
5 or
winner
6.
and the runner-up, okay? So as soon as everyone's got a voting thing in their hands, and when all of you come up, just mention your name so that everyone knows who they are. And should we do it in the order that it's listed here?
Yep.
Okay. And we'll go from there. And I'm going to sit in the back so that no one has to look at me to the side or anything like that, because I tend to bother people when I'm up here. So I'm going to go in the back. And I just want to thank you. Whatever happens, you are all awesome. Thank you all very much. You put a lot of effort into this.
Let's hear it for the
And,
finalists, everybody.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And so let's give it up first for Mr. Jeff Moore, okay? And I'm just going to go scurry off the stage, tear it up.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Clock is ticking.
Hey, Dean and Joe, Batman and Robin, Batman. I never know which one is which. It's whoever you're with at the time. Not bad. This hasn't been that bad. That's pretty good stuff you guys got going on here. So, you guys think this has been great so far? Yeah, me too. Who's heard of Kekich's credos in this room? By show of hands. Okay. The second shortest credo is credo number 8. And it's learn from the giants. And we learn from these giants not because they had great ideas or they said something witty. It's because they did something. They got results, they shared their results, and we were all inspired from those results and those actions. You guys, can you stand up for a second? You guys are giants to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. You took action. So 2012 has been an awesome year of just implementation. It's been tremendous advancement and change, a quantum leap, if you will. It's been a year that I found out that I don't run one or two businesses, but actually each business is 8 separate businesses, all separate profit activators. It's been a year where I've been able to hire some world-class help and delegate the LMS. It's been a year where I was inspired to go out and find a place I could work on my business, away from my business. And I opened up a place, an evil scheme hatchery that I actually call the hatchery. A year where I was encouraged to focus on one target customer and one task at a time. It was a year where I found out that the easy button was not just a toy that I buy at Staples. It was a year where I knew that there was great possibilities, where I could go from being a really great salesperson to becoming an industry transformer. And it was a year that I learned that there's always another level. Is there always another level? Yeah. You bet there is. Okay? And it was a year that I found there was a higher order of communication. There's communication, which is basically what we say or we think we say. There's connection, which is the feedback loop and actually hearing what somebody else is saying. But that there's impact. And impact is something that stays with the person that received it long after the deliverer leaves and precedes the deliverer before they come back. It's been a great year, a great year. I have a motto. The motto says, learn to teach, teach to know and share with passion. And this year has been one of those years that I've been able to exercise that motto with every breath that I take. And I just truly appreciate that. I don't think any of this would have happened without I Love Marketing last year, my relationship with Piranha and Platinum, and the giants here. Kekich Credo, number 42, is actually the shortest credo, and it's lead by example. And that is very powerful. The example, the implementation, the actions that we take, that is the inspiration that I've gained this year. The inspiration from these people here and the people in Platinum. 2 quotes that I wrote for my father over the last several years that have tremendous emphasis after this year. The first one, hope is the act of the observer. Results come from the actions of the participant. I told him Jonas Salk said that. And the next one is, wisdom departed is fleeting and evaporates like the single drop of rain. But wisdom experienced remains and flows through the soul like a mighty river for all eternity. I told him Emerson said that one. But those 2 quotes have meant so much to me, and even more than this year, because I've spent time with these giants and because I've spent time with Joe and Dean and Tim. And I am a member for life. Whether I win or not, I'm their ambassador for life. And I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you and God bless.
Well done, brother. Well done. The Lobsingers are next. Is it Susan alone or both of you? Okay, here she goes. Good job.
Hi, we're Susan and Steve Lobsinger. And yeah, I'm Susan, he's Steve. Beginning of our story actually starts, we were living in Connecticut, and I was working at a job, a career in a corporate life, been there for 12 years, and I got in a little bit of a disagreement with my boss, and it ended in a shouting match that involved a lot of 4-letter words, starting with the F-bomb, and I quickly got fired, which highlighted a lot of my shortcomings, but it also made me realize that I am not meant to be used as somebody's employee. And so then I found out that I couldn't write a resume because it just made me sick in my stomach. And so I had to start a business. So that's what I did, and we didn't want to live in Connecticut anymore either. So we moved back to Oklahoma, which is where we were from, and I decided to open up a business, and I put my ad in the yellow pages, and I sent out some postcards, and I was in business, had my phone set up in my garage apartment of my house, and I sat there and I waited for the phone to ring because I was pretty sure that's how it worked. It didn't. So then I called all my family and friends and asked them to give me a little test call to make sure my phones were working. They were. A few days later, I got the first phone call. This is in between. I was cold calling all the people that I'd sent these postcards out to that were like oversized business cards, and got a lot of hang-ups and just not very good reception overall, and it was kind of hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating. And then I finally got my first call from somebody that wasn't a family member or a friend, and it was somebody that was cold calling me. And I realized I hated this guy, and I realized that I was that guy, and I didn't want to be him anymore, so now I'm desperate. And I ran across a carpet cleaner who introduced me to the thought of Joe Polish and said I should Google him because he probably knows somebody in my industry that can teach me how to do what I need to do. So I looked him up, found the Piranha program, and it was for sale for a ridiculous price of $397 or $297. I don't remember the price, but at the time, it seemed like a ridiculous amount of money for me to pay for an educational product. But then he had this ridiculous guarantee that says, if you don't make this money back within 30 days, then I'll give you all your money back and all this other stuff. And Steve and I laughed about that and thought, whatever, this joker is funny. We're going to try his program. So the next 3 weeks, we drove around in our car together, and we listened to these programs, and we were absolutely blown away. The first thing I implemented was the free recorded message, where it worked like gangbusters. I actually had somebody fax in an order for our services, which was freaking amazing. I didn't have to chase them all over town and beg them for an appointment, and I was really excited this thing worked. And then they had the first I Love Marketing conference. I decided I wanted to go, but I had a 6-month-old baby at the time. Didn't really want to leave him at home, so I brought him with me. And we were here last year. I didn't know anything. I was a brand new entrepreneur. And at this time, our average sales per month were about $5,000 a month. And by the time I left here, I was full of ideas and all this sort of stuff, and I implemented an email newsletter. Then I implemented a hard copy newsletter. I did some testimonial type work to where I got some people on my list to do testimonials, learned how to build my list, did all this sort of stuff. And next thing I know, I'm up to $25,000 a month. That was 8 months later. Then I ended up with an employee problem. I realized I couldn't do this all myself, but I thought that Piranha Marketing was just about teaching you how to get business. But then I called Gina DeLong, and she gave me the solution to hire an employee, because anybody who thinks that they just have a good feel for people and they can hire people that way, you're wrong. I don't care. That person doesn't exist. There is a process that you have to go through, and you should learn it. And I learned it through Piranha Marketing, and I actually brought my fantastic employee that I found through that process here today, and she's learning a lot and helping me with ideas and stuff like that. My life has absolutely been transformed from belonging to Piranha Marketing. This last year has been an absolutely mind-blowing experience of taking my life to a completely different level, and Steve has helped a lot too. I'm sorry I speak in first person, but he's actually hugely involved also. And but I've learned can you say shit ton? But I've learned that from these people over here on the side. I have an accountability group that actually Jeff Moore is part of, and he busts my balls every time I try to tell him I'm busy. He says that, no, actually, it's not a priority for you. He reminds me of that. And but anyway, that's our story. I hope it resonates with any of you guys, and just take action. Don't listen to this stuff. This isn't motivational stuff. You don't need motivation. Just do it.
Well done. Well done. Good job. Okay, Mr. Vance Morris from Maryland, come on up. Give him a hand. There you go.
Woo! Good afternoon. My name is Vance Morris, and I have a confession to make. I am a pimp. Now, before you start thinking that Joe, Dean, and Tim are my bitches, or that I need a session with Dr. Ned or Sean, let me explain to you a little bit. You see, my life has been all about proving Mick Jagger wrong. you can get what you want. See, I got to take you back a little ways. I've always had a win at all costs mentality. Always had it. It served me well in corporate life. I used to be the food service director for the Smithsonian Institution down in Washington, D.C. Well, actually, it served me pretty well until I pissed off my boss and I got fired twice. You see, I wanted to win. So when Ronald Reagan died, I said, I'm going to make some money. And all the street vendors got booted off, but because I was on the Smithsonian on Constitution Avenue, I could take my people out and I could sell jelly beans and water to the thousands of people that were sitting out there. And in an hour and a half, we made $5,000 and netted 80% profit. I got fired for it. Well, this is what I have heard time and time again, which is no, you can't. I don't know if you've read my essay. I don't even know if I can call it an essay, but no, you can't. In business, I've heard, no, you can't. At home, the first, and unfortunately second, ex-Mrs. Morris said, no, you can't. You're taking my time. Stop laughing. At the hospital where my wife almost died at 32 years old, shit is not supposed to explode inside your brain. The doctor said she can't, she won't, or she will never. And after losing my home and losing my life savings, I heard, you can't, you won't. You know what? The only thing that was holding me back was other people. It was those dang bosses. I'm done with them. Family, doctors, bankers, and thank goodness we don't have any freaking lawyers in here, do we? Because they suck. So I need you to stand up with me. Stand up. Stand up. Come on, follow directions. I got 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Stand up with me and say, I have had enough. I have had enough. All right, would you agree with me that it is time to change? Yeah. All right, give me an it's time. All right, it's time to change who you listen to. Give me an it's. Nah, don't say that. Just say it's time. Say it again. It's time. It's time. To change your mindset. It's time. There we go. You got it, Tim. Thank you. To make a difference in your life. All right. To do something. To implement. All right. I'm done with that one. Which is how I can't. Don't sit down. I ain't done with you. Stand up. I got a minute and 40 seconds. Which is how I came up with PIMP. PIMP is profit implementation. If there's anything that you do, you gotta do. Not just sit around, you get all these great freaking ideas from Joe and Dean and everybody. You got to do something. You've got to survive. You won't profit unless you implement. PIMP is about doing. It's about action. It's about implementation. Now it's your turn again. Do you think that you can do something? Give me a yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. Do you think you can increase your revenue 20%? Yes, I can. All right. Do you think that you can increase your job average 20%? Yes, I can. Okay, great. Can you do 42 things in the next 8 months? No. Yes, you can, because I did it. 42 things I implemented over the last 8 months. All right, so do you think that you can change your mindset? Give me another, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Can you set a goal and work towards that goal? Yes, I can. Come on, say it with some passion. I got 31 seconds. Can you pick yourself up after getting knocked down? Yes, all right, can you ignore or repel all those naughty, negative Nellies that are out there that are trying to bring you down? Yes, I can. Oh, that's what I love to hear. Can you do what you know is right and ignore all the naysayers? Yes, I can. And last but not least, can you, not us, can you better your best? Yes, I can. That's what I got to say.
Good job, brother. Man. Okay, next is Ms. Angela Free. Come on up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Ms. I want to do this in order. I messed up. I'm sorry. Yes. Annette Marchanda, you're next. Sorry, you're on the next on the list. Right? And that's next. There you go. There you go, kid.
First, I'd like to start off by congratulating all the rest of the finalists up here that committed and finished the Better Your Best. So, hi, I'm Annette, for those who don't know me, not Len, as Joe occasionally introduces me as. And I want to start off by saying I know what many of you are thinking out there. Does everybody remember Dean's Profit Activator number 2? What are the conversations going on in your prospects' minds? You have already been awarded the ambassadorship 5 years ago. Right? Why would we want to be doing this again? Well, because these concepts work, and we're proof that these work. 5 years later, 8 years after first being involved with Piranha. We had just gone through a phenomenal contest period. I'm sure you've read our essay. And we continue to better our best because we listen to the strategies that have been provided through Piranha Marketing for the last 8 and particularly 5 years, and with the other people that we've been associated with in our group. And it's been because of the coaching and mentoring through Piranha, Joe, Dean, Tim, my business partner, my life partner, Len, who is watching through the streaming, is not here today. And as he would put it, because this shit works. Not only did we have a great contest period, we capped it off by acquiring new yearly contracts that he stayed home to start to administer them. That's continuity programs. That's cash in the bank. This bank. And this is where it all started for us. This is where we decided, and I hope you decide, to invest in yourself. It is here with marketing. Direct response, educational-based marketing. It's the foundation of all great companies. And why would you want to be great? You want to produce profits, financial security for all the shareholders, including yourselves, ourselves, being the owners of companies, for your team members, and also to give back. As Dr. Holloway mentioned, it's all something us entrepreneurs want to be able to do. When we first came here, we heard Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, say, if you can't sell, you suck. What he didn't say is, if you can't market to the right audience with the right message, you'll have very few chances to find out whether you suck or not suck at selling. Joe's strategies, coupled with Dean's 8 profit activators implemented, have been the key to our success. Piranha has always been an organization and has actually paid us to attend if you implement. We're proof of that. We would be honored to be Piranha spokespersons again. As Sean mentioned, we have the confidence to want to help others, and as we do that, we'll also improve. I want to encourage all of you to stay connected with Piranha and the I love marketing philosophies. Just do it. Thank you.
You did a great job. Thank you. Okay, Angie Free is ready. Come on up, Angie. Knock him dead, kid.
Thank you, sir. Tim Paulson. He's the best. Let's put our hands together for Tim Paulson. Tim, I give you 9 seconds of my time. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think everybody else here that has been successful or found a degree of success has talked about. Some of the people we've seen. Marie today. Who liked Marie? Was she awesome? I love listening to Marie. And the first time I heard Marie, she said something that was so powerful to me, and it's very hard to do. But she said that she gave me a philosophy that I'm trying to live by now. So, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to be real with you up here. I'm going to be as real as I can because it gives you permission to be real. I'll never forget the first time she said that. And I thought, God, we're all here, and we all have businesses, and we're all working as entrepreneurs. It's not always easy, right? Who read my essay? Oh my God! See, there's the level of what I'm talking about right there. I was discussing this with a couple of people throughout the last few days. Do you remember that part on Jerry Maguire where he writes that thing and he goes and he prints it? That's how I felt when I did that essay. I was like, oh my God, did I send that? I mean, it was just horrified for a few minutes thinking, holy shit, everybody knows my shit now, and that's horrible. But I want everybody to feel like that when they're here. We are not your customers. The people in this room do not come here and BS everybody like you have all your stuff together or that you have all the answers or that everything is working, because we just know it isn't like that, right? We're not your customers, and so when you're here, if you can try your best to be real and to be authentic, it's the first step of getting to a better place, a bigger place, and growing. If I had one piece of advice I wanted to give everybody, it's to, when you're here, don't live in your past. And when you leave here, don't live in your past. Don't look back. I'm going to give you 2 examples of what that looks like. The first one, this is kind of embarrassing, another embarrassing story. I told a friend as soon as I got here, did anybody see my purse? I've had comments on that purse that it's ridiculous and big and I can fit a small person in it. I tried to sneak Sean out of here in it, but this bag was big, right? So I'm on the airplane the other day, and as soon as I tell you what happened, you're gonna know, okay? I'm on the airplane, getting off the plane to come here, and guys, as soon as I say this, you're gonna know. Okay, this man gets on the plane, last person on, and he's got one of those, those big headgear things with the screws all like tied in. He's had some kind of crazy surgery, right? And he gets on the plane and he sits on the very end where people can easily hurt you. I'm gonna raise my hand. Guess what I did? So I'm like walking off the plane and one of my straps gets hooked on this guy's head. I mean, I'm not kidding. If it could have been straight out of a movie, I would, and here I am, I'm like, what the hell is, and everybody's like, oh, and I'm like, God dog it. That's a bad example of do not look behind. You should look behind you if you feel like you're ripping somebody's head off. Okay. A good example of what it should look, remember when Joe made us write the first day that we were here? When he made us write in our books, today is the last day of the way I used to be. That's a good example of it. Don't allow yourself to be dictated by what your history is. We've all made mistakes as entrepreneurs in the past, but you need to look from here and go forward. Again, thinking of people we've seen, Sean, if he looked at things in the past, where do you think he would be? If he let that dictate. As entrepreneurs, we go through a lot. I'm just going to say, whatever you go through, let it help you grow to be stronger. And how can you do that? For me, the key to my success was staying connected to Piranha and staying connected to Platinum in some way. A lot of people here have run miles. They've run the miles for it. Don't learn the hard way. I can say without a doubt, my connection to this company and the people that are in it has saved me, personally and professionally. It saved my company, it saved my business. So whether or not you are, no matter where you're at, I mean, I can tell you I've sat in my car freaking out because it's payroll day. And I've also, in 2 hours, I will probably be going to Necker Island. No matter where you're at in your business, just know that I've been there and I would love to help and I would love to give back if I possibly can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angela Free. Now let's hear it for Rob and Brenda Edling. Please welcome them. Come forward.
Oh, I get to talk?
We're Rob and Brenda Edling, and we own Rob's Carpet Care. And I don't have notes prepared. I'm just going to talk to you from the heart. I'm not going to talk about the numbers that we've done or anything that we've implemented. We've been in business now for 10 years, but really the first 9 years the business owned us. We were slaves to the business. We had no life. We were making money, that's all we can say. It was getting to the point where we were just tired of it. Last year, we met Tim Polson for the first time, and I remember you saying something about when you were little, you asked your dad, "Dad, are we rich?" And he would always say, "Yes, son, we are rich." Not financially, but with blessings and love. And that just impacted me. And I thought, we have got to change. We have got to start learning to live, to have fun, and not be slaves to the business anymore. And that decision couldn't have came at a better time. This year, for the first time in 5 years, we took a vacation. But then the rest of the year became a whirlwind for us. We found out that my dad had kidney cancer. And my dad lives 10 hours away from us, so it was hard to just go there. But with our decision that we were going to start owning the business wasn't going to own us. We hired people. We had 2 technicians and a part-time office assistant, so it freed us up to have freedom, something we hadn't had before. We were able to start spending time with my dad. When he needed me, we were there. He didn't have to go through it alone or anything, and he had his kidney surgery, and they took the kidney out, and they said that he was cancer-free. He wasn't. Instead of getting better, his health continued to decline. And I'm sorry if I get emotional, but several trips were made to Alabama. It seemed like we were always on the road. But the one thing that we had to keep in mind, too, is that we can't neglect the business, even though we are having the freedom to be there for my dad when he needed us. So we were still in contact with the people working for us, and it seemed like even though we had this newfound freedom, we were busier than ever. My dad, it turned out that he had cancer throughout his entire body. It was in all the organs. And but we were there for him. And my dad, within the past month, I was sitting with him, and it was on a Saturday, and he said, "You can't keep spending all your time here. You've got a business." He goes, "I know you're shutting the business down every time you come here." I said, "No, you're wrong. We hired people. We're still making money while we're sitting here visiting with you. We're making money." And that meant a lot to him, to know that he wasn't putting us out and making us go into bankruptcy. We were told a month ago that my dad had 3 to 4 months to live. And when we were there, we were like, he'll never see 3 to 4 months. For a lot of you in the room here, you know that my dad lost his battle with cancer last Saturday. So we weren't at the conference yesterday, because yesterday we were burying my dad. I walked away from that cemetery, though, with no regrets. I know that I was there for my dad, and I gave him my all, and the business did not come before anything. My dad came before everything else. 2 years ago, when my mom passed away, I can't say that. I live with regret because the business came first. We couldn't get away because we had nobody to watch the business. And every time we went to see her, we were shut down. And then all you think about is, how am I going to pay the bills when I get back, because we're losing all this money every day that we're here. This year, with my dad, we gave it our all, and we were there for him. And I just want to thank Piranha and their team members for showing us how to have that freedom, and for Tim for that comment last year at the meeting. Dad, are we rich? Yeah, son, we're rich. And I felt very rich.
Thank you. Kathleen Bow-Crossy, would you please welcome Kathleen?
I'm emotional this time of year. Wow, I have visualized this moment so many times the past 4 months. I'm honored to be sharing the stage with these awesome finishers, and I thank you for letting me share my Better Your Best contest package with you, and to show you how the I Love Marketing and Piranha Marketing has truly transformed my mind and my business over the past year. I attended my first I Love Marketing conference this time last year, and I was so excited. I had spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching companies, and what I got out of those 3 days doesn't even compare to what I got out of the coaching. The only thing they concentrated on, oh, that came out right. The only thing they concentrated on was my cash flow, projections, forecasts, time management, and trying to rebrand me. So after I left the I Love Marketing conference, I went back to my business and I implemented some of the strategies. I learned so much, so I chose a few and I started there. The first thing I did was I chose activator number 6, which is the after experience. I have a dental hygiene continuing education professional development center. The hygienists come to me, to my facility, for hands-on education and for online learning. So when I went back, what I did was I provided the after service. After they took a course, they would leave. I would send an email afterwards to say, hey, found another great resource for you. The hygienists have to maintain 25 hours of education, and they have to set goals and activities to keep up with their license. So I would send them extra resources. They absolutely loved it. They kept coming back, and I noticed a huge increase in my membership. I also did a joint venture with the Ontario Dental Hygiene Association, and they offered our Portfolio Manager, which is our online tool to help the hygienists maintain their portfolio. They offer that as a 25% discount for their membership benefit. Dan Kennedy was here and he talked about making yourself the expert, and kept hearing from Joe and Dean to really offer free education. So I left there thinking, what am I going to do? I want to attract a lot of hygienists from all over. So I created this show. It's called the RDH View. And the logo looks like the View, but there's an RDH for Registered Dental Hygienist in front of it. I came back to my business and I found 3 of the top experts in our field, and now we have our own show called the RDH View, and we have a special guest. My first show was in February, so look at my time, and I posted on a couple of Facebooks the night before, and Dentistry USA Today picked it up, the Canadian Dental Hygiene Association picked it up. I just posted that before I went to bed. I woke up 8 hours later, and I had 350 pre-registered for the show. Throughout the day, it was like the election. We just kept seeing more and more. I was like, oh my God, I didn't buy enough bandwidth. So at about 10 to 8, we bought enough bandwidth. We had over 1,000 hygienists on the RDH View. Thank you to Piranha Marketing. Thank you. We had people on from China, UK, France, Hawaii, Texas. It was basically all over North America, so it was so exciting. I attended the Platinum thanks to Tim, who I absolutely adore, his support, and he's been wonderful. We attended the Platinum, and I joined the Better Your Best contest right away. I took the month of May to really plan and prepare because the contest ended in August, and you were to choose 3 months and compare them to last year. Oh, wow, 57 seconds. So in May, I joined Infusionsoft, the Telecenter. I did my Focus Finder, which if you haven't watched that changed my life, the Focus Finder. I dedicate 2 hours every day to one thing. I don't look at my text. I don't look at my BlackBerry. I don't do any of that. I did company sponsorship. I have so much to tell you, and I'm running out of time. But I had Kevin O'Leary. We had a big party at the end of my Mission Possible project, which was my summer challenge. And it was to get the hygienists to maintain their portfolio and to hand it in to me by the end of the summer. I kind of mirrored this contest that I'm in. My net profits increased by 353%, 400% increased my online learning, 98% increased my portfolio manager, and all thanks to Piranha Marketing, and I love marketing. And my time is up, and I thank you so much for this opportunity.
You did a great job. You did a great job. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Darren and Susan Klein. Come on up. Go get him, Tiger.
Okay, so when I met Joe in 1993, or no, 2003, I'm sorry, just losing it. We were in a pretty dark place. We were kind of in foreclosure. We had one of our vans repoed, and we were basically working 7 days a week to go bankrupt. And I got a letter from Joe, and I'm not even really sure why I opened the dang thing, because at that time I didn't open most of my mail. It was just too depressing. I read the letter, and I thought, you know, he's got this conference, this boot camp, and what he says makes sense, but I just don't know if I can do it. So I came to the conference, the boot camp he used to call them at that time. I never left the hotel. I sat with people like you at every single meal, networked, talked to other people. I got client newsletter. I heard about free recorded messages, client counsel, newsletters, all those types of packaging your prices and all that stuff. I get back. I'm really excited. Susan and my staff really not so much excited. So I'm like, listen, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. Because, you know, when you get out of here, you're going to be bouncing off the walls. And within 11 days, my technician and my office staff had both quit. The only thing that saved me was Susan and I are kind of married, and she probably would have left me too. But we really started implementing those ideas and started getting them going. We started with, because we didn't have any money, we started with the cheaper things first, obviously. Client newsletter, free recorded messages, all that other stuff. And as we started going, it started building. And as it started building, we started feeling better about it. And as our confidence level went up, things just got better and better and better. Have we had some setbacks still? Yes. I mean, I got a phone call yesterday, a voicemail when I was in the conference, and when I got off, man, I wanted to strangle like 2 of my employees. So those days still happen to me. It's not perfect. The sort, sits, and screen has allowed me to get better clients and has also allowed me to get better staff. So it's better than it ever has been before. So I basically fired the Yellow Pages rep, who was my marketing guru, and I hired Joe and Tim. And, you know, we're talking in an election right now. If things would, you know, are things better for you? Yes, things are better for us. Would I hire Joe and Tim again? Absolutely. So we've made more money last year than we've ever made, taxable income. We're our daughter is now in a private school. We live in a rural area. It's not so great. So she goes to a nice private school now. We get to spend all our time with her. We're at all her events. We do all the things with our family that we always wanted to do, but never could do. Sort of like, Rob and Brenda, the business owned us. So I got a couple seconds left, but I want to give it off to Susan.
Oh, that's nice of you to let me talk. He never lets me talk at home. I just wanted to talk about the family side because I'm the female of the group. If any of you are married out there and struggling, welcome to the club. It's a small club. It's been great. I thought he was crazy when he wanted to come out here. I refused to come in 2003, and it's been a good thing. So I appreciate everybody here, and my daughter's flourishing in this school. It's costing me a ton of money, but thanks to Joe and everybody, it's worth it. She's my only kid, so and in the end, that's all any of us have. So, your family. So, I'm going to end because I'm going to cry. So, and whatever happens in 2013, because I guess things are shifting at Piranha. We're grateful for our time here. We love everybody. You guys are all great, and I don't know any of you, but I'm sure you're fabulous too. Hope to get to know you, and it's just a great thing. Stick with it. If you have to do it via internet, if you come to the events, whatever you have to do, just get here because it's super, super important to get out of your zone, get here, turn your Blackberries off, and just pay attention to what's going on up on stage. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. You did very well. That was great. Great job. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Mark Jamnick. Jammin' Jamnick. Go for it, brother.
All right, I'm Mark Jamnick, and I have to say that standing up here, following some of these speakers already, and I can't wait to see who else is going to be speaking, the one thing that I've noticed throughout every single speech today has been, and yesterday, and just every single time I go to ilovemarketing.com or go to any of the meetup groups, is the heart of this group. And it's the heart of the group here and out there and wherever in the world is watching right now. So it's one of those things that I'm really blessed and honored to be a part of this. And that's one of the things that I'm really humbled to be here, standing in front of what I consider some incredible marketers. In 2011, I burned the boats and I quit my job. And as we all know, when we start our company, we have all these grandiose ideas of how it's going to work and how everything will instantly work out. And then reality hits and it doesn't quite work that way. I found I Love Marketing through a friend at the end of last year. And there's a phrase that I love that I heard, and it goes something like this. If you want things in your life to change, you need to change things in your life. I can't remember who quoted that, but that really resonated with me. I was struggling all of last year. I had no idea what I was doing. I was implementing different things and just trying all different sorts of things just to try and make some money. And then I came across I Love Marketing, and there was a platform. There was a community. In May, I found out that I was invited to participate in the Platinum opportunity. And what I realized was, at that point, I was still playing a smaller game. I was looking at things in the way that I used to look at things as an employee. The job that I had left in 2010 kind of had that entrenched in me that I was still an employee of some sort. So at that point, I decided that I'm a big Seinfeld fan, so I thought, let me go ahead and pull one out of the George Costanza book. Let me do the opposite. Everything that I was doing wasn't working, so the opposite had to be right. So I began to have fun. And that's one of the pieces that I talked about in the essay. I was working on my business so much, but I didn't have any of the wherewithal on how to apply it. Until I Love Marketing and Platinum really helped me put those things in place. As a result of it, I began implementing. I began finishing things. When you have accountability and when you measure things, it's amazing how those things improve. I began implementing Infusionsoft. I finished a book. I finished a phone app. I implemented the free recorded message. And the first time that I used the free recorded message, I was on the phone call with another client, and I get the message that someone had just called into the free recorded message, and that was such a cool experience. And it was one of those things that I had heard Joe talking about the free recorded message. I knew all of this stuff, but I still was hungering for more information, but it was just like, I just need to learn a little bit more. Joining Platinum allowed me to say, look, I want to better my best. I want to step up, and I actually want to participate and be a part of people that are doing it. So that being said, all of those things have allowed me to, at the beginning of this week, we found out who was the finalist. And at that point, my whole message has been enjoy life daily. And that was a whole message that came out of really me participating in Platinum 2.0. So it's, if we're talking to Marie, the idea right now is not, it doesn't look perfect, but Jeff Moore inspired me for speed of implementation. So this morning I recorded a video, I set up the landing page, and if you go to enjoylifedaily.com, you could log on there, and the book that is in editing right now, I'll send that over to you when it's completed. But if you want to enter your information, you could go to enjoylifedaily.com, and I'd be happy to give you that book. And it's called It's a Journey. And the story is basically from me hating and loathing my job in 2008, to me quitting and burning the boats in 2011, to me standing here basically on stage at an event and speaking to what I consider incredible marketers. So my time is almost up, and I just want to say thank you for your attention. And like Lou Ferrigno said yesterday, just believe in yourself and go for it. That's it. Thank you.
Good job, Mark. Well done. So what do you think so far? Pretty cool, huh? Okay, two more. I would like to introduce to you Misters Greg and Todd Spencer, all the way from Utah.
All right, Todd's going to start out real quick while he's grabbing that. Last year, there was a lot of people in this room that thought I was a mute and that I didn't speak. And they were probably right in a lot of ways. There's a reason for that, because we really feel like it's important that I think we learn things and we gain information, and then we learn how to implement that and do that. And then once you've done those things, then I think you have the skill set to start to teach and to help others accomplish what you've done. And I think that's a big part for us. But I'll give this to Todd for a second.
My team considers me kind of the driving force for us in getting the contest packet done. And so in January, when Tim Polson offered this exact Hershey bar as the bribe to complete the contest packet, I took that seriously. And I said, I am not going to eat this until after I've been on stage with the awesome people that have given so much to help UltraSteam be successful and what we are today. And it means a lot to have the support of this group of giants behind us as well. So we're going to have Greg tell you a little bit more about who UltraSteam is and where we've come from.
Okay, we really feel like we have come to a point in our business as a group, and I need to give recognition to Rod and Paul, our other two brothers. It really is a family business in that sense, and I think a lot of you probably can relate to that. That's why we love this group so much, because so many can. And all of us are key, I think, for each other and supporting each other so that we have the information we need. But 10 years ago when we started the company, we took $30,000, put it on credit cards. This is how stupid we were, really, and had this great idea that all you had to do was be the best in the business at doing something, right? If anyone ever had that idea, we've heard that over and over. And we were going to be millionaires within months, maybe years. Within a year's time, this is where I had my first interaction with Joe. I've never told this to Joe. I've never shared this. My father-in-law was working for us at the time, and he had a company credit card, and I got the credit card statement. And there was this, I think, a $1,900 charge. Now, we made $97,000 a year. I was living on $500 a month. And I saw this $1,900 charge for marketing, and I flipped out. I mean, I lost it. Fortunately, he's a bigger man than I am and could have probably destroyed a relationship. I was just so mad that he had spent this money without asking me. And the only result of that was he said, hey, I can send it back. There's a money back guarantee. And I said, well, we're going to make good on the guarantee. Send it back. We'll go forward 10 years, 1990 or 2007. I'm sitting in my office. We were doing fairly well in terms of we were making money. We were running money through the business, but we were not working on the business. All I was doing was working in the business. And something possessed me, and I'm sure I'd received other notices to read this thing from Joe. And he was doing a seminar locally. I sat down, and after about an hour reading this whole thing cover to cover, I went in, grabbed these three, and said, we are going up to this deal. I don't know what it is. Something is different here. We walked in, and we were sold. We went to Super Conference. We joined Platinum, and we've been that way for 5 years. Now, we've relied so heavily upon the people that are here and the others that have sat in these chairs over the past 5 years. What I think is key for all of you is to have people that will give that one-on-one deal. I love Joe and Dean and everything they do. And this macro thing that we participate in is really important. But it's key that we have interaction with each other, that people will let you pick up the phone. You could go visit them if you were close enough, or if you flew into their city. They'll give us ideas. Len and Annette, all of these people have shared these things with us. And when this really came and really hit home to me, and I knew that we were in the finalists a week ago or whatever, this is where I think it really matters and what's important. It took my wife and I 15 years to finally get children, and we finally had to adopt. And that was a heck of a process. If I had more time, I'd share with you. 3 years ago, a little birth mom told us that we would get to raise her daughter for her. Last week, our little daughter's 3 years old, and she's my pal. She says to me all the time, Daddy, we're pals, right? And I say, yeah, we're pals. I love that. She said to me in the morning last week, she says, hey, Daddy, you going to come to preschool and watch me do gymnastics? And I said, sweetie, I got to go to work. And I could see the disappointment in her face, and she left with my wife. And I sat there and thought, wait a minute. What is Piranha all about if I can't go sit in the morning for 20 minutes and watch her do gymnastics? That's the difference, you guys. That's what matters. When I saw her turn around and recognize I was there and her eyes lit up and she started to jump and to show off, that's what this is all about. That's what we offer to you, is we offer ourselves like those who have come before. That's our responsibility and our obligation. Thank you.
Great job, brother. Gee whiz. That candy bar is going to taste awfully good after, how many months has it been? How fresh is that bad boy? Okay, last but not least, let's hear it from Mr. Wesley Romine, all the way from Champaign, Illinois. Go get him, brother.
Before I get started, I have to say hi to my girlfriend. She wasn't able to make it because she's really busy at work right now, and the last thing, she's watching on the camera, and the last thing she says to me before we got started was, don't go last, I really need to get going after this. So hopefully she's still watching. The other great thing about going last is that you get to tick off all the topics that you were going to talk about as everybody else talks about them. So I'm just going to start with my story. I've been in Piranha for 3 years now, and I got started. A friend of mine told me about Joe, and I started listening to audios and listened to probably more than 100 of the Genius Network interviews at this point. And it was kind of before they had I Love Marketing, and it was really great. Great information, great content, and I started using a lot of it. And I actually decided to join, even though they were still primarily a carpet cleaning business. I think it was just me and maybe a couple other outsiders, and trying to explain to friends and people that don't know what we're going through why you're joining a carpet cleaning group is kind of strange, because I'm a painter. But I really believed in it, and I really thought it was worthwhile. I came to a conference, and then the first conference I came to, I joined Platinum, and this is my second year. And it's been an evolution. So one of those things when we hear about this and we sign up for it is we hear all the great things about marketing and what it can deliver, but it takes time, and for me, it's been one of the toughest challenges has been implementation. And I've been an entrepreneur I was trying to figure this out earlier, for 14 years now, and have been very mediocre at it for a while, even though I have always thought, well, I'm making progress, I just need to learn one more thing. And the last several years, we've been sort of floating at the same level. And then last year, in 2011, we had actually a negative year. And we tried to grow and started off doing well, and then promptly took a deep dive the other direction and finished last year with a loss, which was pretty demoralizing. And I looked at my numbers, and I was talking to my team and consulting people in this group, and was just really frustrated, thinking, how am I going to turn this around? And I felt like I was ready for a breakthrough, but I didn't know how that was going to happen. So we shrank our team back down, and fortunately, I have an awesome team. I've got 3 painters and a bookkeeper that works part-time, and they're incredible. I mean, they've backed us up every step of the way. They're all wondering why I go to these seminars and get pumped up and wondering, they see all this money going out, or that I've told them about it, and my bookkeeper sees the money going out, and she keeps trying to get me to wondering what I'm doing coming to these cult events where we're getting all pumped up, and why am I giving them all the credit for what we're accomplishing? And so anyway, that time does go fast. But so last year, where I really felt like I made a breakthrough was, for the longest time, I'd come here and I'd learn all these strategies, and it took me 2.5 years just to get my consumer guide done. But this past year, at the conference, it really hit me when Dean talked about Profit Activator number 1, narrowing your target market. And I started realizing, after we did that and I left here and I started thinking from that perspective, I tried to use that theme throughout my business. And not just in the marketing, but through the production, it made everything so much easier. And so we really just focused on simplifying and trying to do the things that were our best opportunities. And I know Joe talks about that a lot, is get rid of the good opportunities and work on your best opportunities. And it started working, and we focused on the short term and started building. And we not only had a profit for last year, but we're a lot less stressed. And really, some of the people that have been up here, telling great stories, that's what Prana is all about. So.
Thank you. Great job, brother. Some time ago, in a window of a furniture company, there was a sign, and it said, "Finishers Wanted." And of course, they were looking for furniture finishers. But I've pondered that, and I think about that a lot. And I think in life, finishers are wanted. I mean, those who can finish, those who can start and finish. And so would you give it up one more time, maybe even standing while you're doing it, for these finishers, please?
Bring them up on stage.
Come on up,
everyone.
guys.
If we can all fit.
Good to see you, buddy. And any one of them would be a very worthy ambassador. They haven't made it any easier for us, I think.
Yes.
You want to get closer? Are we taking a picture? Is that what we're doing?
We're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna hang out under the light. Isn't this where? Isn't it looking like looking at welding torches? I mean, I swear, people don't, until you're up on stage, you don't know it. Like blinds you after a while. But
it's like looking at Jesus.
Sort of, yeah. That's,
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. No, you guys are awesome. Those were incredibly useful, inspirational.
Go ahead and have a
stories.
seat, everyone. Thank you.
And yeah, thank you. And yeah, that was what Vance was doing. That was really funny. No, you can't sit down. That was awesome. So so you all remember who they are, right? Is everyone clear by looking at the? So please tally up who you think is the first second and third, and then please turn them into us so you guys can go have a seat. Thank you so much, and we will let you know. We'll bring you back up in a couple of hours, and we'll award the prize.
And go ahead and pass those pink sheets to the middle, if you would, please. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Are you going to break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to break in just a moment as everyone's done. Paul Collingan, since you have to hop on a plane, get up here real quick. We're going to take a break in just a moment. It's going to be a short break. But I want to introduce my good friend Paul Collingan, who is a techno geek, marketer extraordinaire, and he is he's a 25K member, and he's actually helping, has set up the number 10, write this down. This will be a very important website, 10X Talk, like 10 times talk, although we own TEN, Time, we own all those sites, but 10xtalk.com. It is the new podcast that I am doing with Dan Sullivan. And it's all about how to multiply your business. And the first episode is up there, and we talk about Dean pretty much on every episode, just like we always talk about Dan Sullivan on every episode. And the second episode will be a fantastic interview with Dean Jackson. It's great. We've already done it. So we've recorded, and they're 30 minutes long. Okay, so these are shorter than I Love Marketing, and I think you all like it. So do the text thing. Talk about anything you want, because you always have smart shit to say.
Thank you, man. We have done nothing official with this. We announced it to maybe 200 to 25K. But what's interesting is just based on the name and the concept, I was looking at the stats this morning, and Joe was having a fun time with that. We're been downloaded over 1,000 times. But what's interesting is, Tunisia and Monaco are doing bigger than Canada right now. And
Saudi Arabia is number 2.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia is number 2. And
bizarre.
So it's insane what's out there. Personally, it is my desire in life to get to the point where I spend 40 hours a week listening to Joe Polish. Who thinks that'd be a good idea?
Yeah.
We get enough podcasts going and we can make that happen. 10X Talk is phenomenal. It is just a pleasure to work on. It's a pleasure to be part of. The website is up. What's fun is you always get to make improvements on what the other people have done. Hindsight is 2020. We've been able to add some new things to the world that make it fun. But everybody, pull out your cell phone. Pull out your cell phone.
I'm going to show you a marketing technique right now.
I'm going to show you a marketing technique that's very, very cool.
And you'll want to use this.
You'll want to use this. So pull out your cell phone. You're going to text what we call in the industry a short code. So 58885 is the number. 5, 3 8s and a 5.
58885.
You're texting to the number 58885. You're texting 10x, 10x. So like if you were texting, Joe, I love you to his phone number, you're texting 10x to 58885. And what you'll do is you'll be updated. We've got a special prize from Joe in there. And then when the thing goes live, we're going to do a ramp. We're going to be the #1 podcast on iTunes when we launch this thing, and you guys can be part of that and spread the word. And it's going to be very, very cool. So the number is 58885, and you text 10x, 10x, and you'll see some fun interactive marketing mojo there that's pretty killer.
Yeah, and me and Dean are going to do an episode of I Love Marketing with Paul, explaining what is going on right now is one of the things. So all of you will actually know how to capture, text numbers and basically feed out what you would like to people, okay? Which we're not going to put you on like a pitch or anything, okay?
You're Canadian. Yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, if you're Canadian, don't text that.
You know what's funny?
I won't tell you what discovered that, but it's Dan Sullivan's wife.
Dan Sullivan, Babs texts it, and it's a dating site. I was like, that is hysterical in Canada.
Yes, the 58885 is U.S. only. We've got a local number we can get out to you if you're not from this country. So it's good stuff. It's really good, guys. It's going to be tremendous, and it's going to be a big part of it. You can stream it right from the website. It works with all the phones, and you're good to go. So,
thank you.
10x to 58885. Unless you're from a different country, then just give me your business card.
Yeah, and Paul is an expert on setting up podcasts. So any of you that are interested in, I think you'll be around for a little bit during. But beyond that, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Awesome. Okay, so can you guys? Is it possible to take like a 12-minute break? Is that doable? Yeah. Can you do that? Okay. So we're going to do it. We're going to go into the next speaker, but I think you all need a break because of lunch. So let's take a real quick break, and we'll come back, and you are going to meet someone that's going to blow your mind. All right, 10 minutes. All right, couple things we're going to do before we bring up some badassness. All right, let's pull up I'm going to do a video. Dean, could you videotape me in the, okay. Tell me when you're ready. Wait, hold on for Austin. Virgin Unite. Okay, let's pull this up. And when it's up, then I'll have to tell you to, you know how that works, right?
I do. I'll push the red button?
You do that.
Okay, you tell me when you're ready.
Go.
Oh, are you ready now?
Okay, we are here at the I Love Marketing 2 conference, and I'm going to send this to the folks at Virgin Unite because we're their largest fundraiser, and they are doing something called the Golden Opportunity. Okay, and I only have 8 of these left, and so these are very serious donation investments. We're talking, 100,000 plus. So if any of these are appealing to you, then I'm going to show a real quick slide. Virgin Unite has a fall fundraiser every year to raise money for the awesome work they do supporting young entrepreneurs everywhere. And this year, the Golden Ticket Campaign, which is this thing they're doing, includes 10 once-in-a-lifetime trips and expenses, offering you lots of fun while doing good. Now, of course, I'm reading from a slide, as you can see. You could go on a safari with Richard Branson, chase down tigers and eat them with your bare teeth. No, I'm kidding. You could swim with whale sharks, and then let's see what else. Or you could pitch your best business idea to Russell Simmons and Richard Branson. And so whichever package you pick, you also get to join Richard and his family at a party in Los Angeles on November 12th. And so if you want to download this, though, write down this website, check out www.virginunite.com/golden for more info, and be sure to tell them that Joe sent you. And not because I'm going to get paid a commission. This all goes to Virgin Unite. So the different trips here, the safari trip, pitch your business idea to Richard Branson and Russell Simmons, minimum donation, $100,000 for that. Screw business as usual with Richard Branson on Necker Island. The investment for that is $100,000, or you can win the that are your best price. Victoria's Secret's Revealed, if you want to go to the fashion show, which I will be there this year. That will be cool. Relax in Luxury on, how do you say that?
That is Koh Samui.
Koh Samui, I nearly kissed it.
Yeah, there you go.
And then swim with the whale sharks and enjoy the wonders of Mexico. Visit Virgin's luxurious retreat in Morocco with his mother, Eve Branson. Support young entrepreneurs at the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship. Let's see what else I got here. They help make a business a force for good with Richard Branson and Virgin Unite. That is spread across 3 years for $1.5 million. Protect our wonderful natural assets. And it talks about the Eve Branson Foundation, the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship. So what I recommend is download it at the website and check it out. If anyone here seriously is interested in these and you want one of these, just I will give these to Eunice and you can pick one up from her. Thank you very much. There you go. There you go. And I'm sure they've all been bought by now from people that are watching via live stream. So I want to talk about that. All right. Let's see. We're going to show,
let's do
the video real quick?
No.
No? Okay. The folks from the Draw Shop, we're going to do the video later. You guys still going to be here? Where are you? Will you be here tomorrow? Okay, good. Perfect. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Let's go.
How do you want to do this?
Okay, well, first of all, how many of you have iPads? How many of you love to watch stuff on your iPad? Now, this is, I believe, the very beginning of one of the biggest opportunities that we have as marketers, as educators, as people who share information, is to get our information on iPads. So we have Mr. Ed Dale, who's here with us. Where's Ed? There he is.
How many of you heard of Ed Dale?
Here, Ed. Yes.
All the way from Melbourne.
He almost won the farthest, but the guy from Perth beat you out, right?
Do I need to
Perth
give you a
is
mic,
even further than Melbourne.
We're on.
So Ed
Now we're good.
has been around for a very long time. He started the 30-day challenge, was the first thing. How many people remember or participated in the 30-day challenge? How many people do you think you've helped make their first dollar online? I love that idea of setting the bar.
192,000.
192,000 people have gone through the
30-day
challenge in 7 years. So we're excited to have him. Ed is a very good friend of both Joe and I, and he also happens to be a member of the Hello Kitty Wallet Society, which I founded myself. He's got one. Joe's got one right here.
Don't cross the streams.
But
Mine looks a little more beat up than your guys's.
there are, and yours is the newest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure.
You're hard.
I swim in it. I shower with it.
We got to get you on an auto ship to keep that fresh. You got to have a fresh Hello Kitty wallet.
Yeah.
But there are 6 members of the Hello Kitty Wallet Society. We're not going to tell you who the other 3 are.
Do you have a black card like me?
But here's the thing.
This is ego. This is status
one
I'm talking
of
to.
the things, one of the accessories for the Hello Kitty wallet is the Batman credit card. So only 2 of the 6 members of the Hello Kitty Wallet
I haven't
Society
got one of those.
have Batman card. How many of you have Batman credit cards? We got a couple of people with the Batman
Yeah, and you know how
credit
that happened? Because they're hooked up with us.
That's
and they got
exactly
to meet Mr.
right. Now, it just so happens that we have the man who is in charge of distribution for all of the Batman credit cards in the world, Mr. Joe Sugarman. Is
Who
right
we'd like
here
to
with
invite
us.
up.
We'd like to invite him up.
And Joe Sugarman, most well known for the inventor of blue blocker sunglasses, the very first person to ever use 800 numbers in commerce to make orders. Anyone ever used an 800 number for your business? First one to ever do it. Okay. And how old are you right now?
74.
Think he's in pretty good shape for 74 years old?
Look at these guns.
He actually can do more pull-ups than me, John Butcher, Alex Mendoza, and we all did we even have it on video. He did like 23 pull-ups. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do 25, and I'm going for 30.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, Joe, thank you very much. And Dean, can I say a few words?
Go for it.
Well, first of all, these guys are the only people in the whole world that would get me to go from Maui all the way to New York City and give a 10-minute speech. Nobody else could get me to do that. Now, I also have something else that's kind of special.
Oh, blue blocker sunglasses. Look at that.
Wow.
I'll run blocking.
There we go. Oh, that looks fun. Can I throw one out too? Oh, he faked you right out. Here it comes. Yes.
I don't know where it's going. Go ahead.
Yeah. Where are you up to? Go
Where's it
long.
going?
Go long, John.
Dig in. Oh, deflected.
Okay.
You know, we could actually, you need these blue blockers up here for these.
No
Yeah,
shit, we could be wearing. Give them back, please. See more.
Okay, well.
First off, 2 things. Why marketing? Why do you love marketing? And then secondly, let's talk about the Batman credit card. And then we'll get you off the stage because, we want you to fly from Maui to Arizona just for like 4 minutes. That's fair. Yeah.
Okay. And the record. Okay, so why marketing? Let me just say this. You could have the greatest product in the world. You could have the greatest financial backing. You could have everything. But if you don't have marketing, you have nothing. It's like health. So marketing is critical. And that I've learned throughout my whole life through many, many failures, through many successes. And what's so interesting about it is that you're really known for your successes. Nobody knows about I'm probably the biggest failure you've ever met in your life. And I've failed so many times, but people don't know anything about the failures. Are funny as hell, let me tell you. But the successes are what people really remember. They remember blue blocker. What was that, sir? The metal detector. Yeah, laser beam. You're referring to an ad that I write and call a laser beam mousetrap. And it was a $2,000 device that the mice would get in there and they get zapped. And it was a $2,000 product, and we didn't sell a single one, not one.
And what's the lesson behind that?
The lesson behind that, well, there were a lot of lessons behind that one, but don't get so caught up in your own copy that I was so...
Well, no, but the other obvious lesson is you can build a better mousetrap. That doesn't mean you get
I should have said that. Okay, Batman credit card. Everybody's going to get one here.
You see?
And the story behind that, 46 years ago, there were two fads that hit the United States. One was credit cards. All the credit card companies issued credit cards. Bank Americard and MasterCard were the two big ones. And the other second fad was Batman. Batman started to appear on television in 1966, and it became a smash hit. And everything that had Batman on sold like crazy. And I came up with this great idea. Why not combine Batman and a credit card and have a Batman credit card and sell it on radio for $1, only $1, and you get your name embossed on this credit card. And we collect 1 million names. 1 million names. This is, that was going to be my list. And then I would send out a catalog of all my Batman products. And so I thought that was a really good idea, and I'm going to make this this long story very short because I know time is, I only have like 2 minutes, right? So anyway, make a long story short, I met with the Batman people, the licensing people in New York, and they loved the idea, and they wanted to be partners with me, and they asked me if I could go out and print 250,000 of them. Since we were both partners, I'd go out, print 250,000 of them, and they'd send the paperwork later. It turns out that the owner of the rights to Batman, National Periodical Publications, this owner didn't like the idea and refused to sign the licensing agreement. And so I was stuck with 250,000 Batman credit cards. Every few years, I'd call them up. I said, is there a chance of getting a license? Batman would come out with a movie. Is there a chance of getting the license? No, finally, could not get a license. Now, it's the year 2000. And I'm giving a seminar, and Dan Kennedy was at the seminar, and Dan Kennedy walks up to me, and he says, Joe, you remember that Batman credit card? I said, oh, yeah, I remember that Batman very well, actually. I still have 250,000 of them. No joke. I mean, I did. So he said, well, Joe, you gave one to a friend of mine. He gave it to his son. His son put it on eBay and sold it for $400.
Wow.
So I thanked him, and I went into my little office, and I took out my calculator, and I 250,000 times $400. The calculator, it was too big a number. It was only an 8-digit calculator. I had to go in and get a 10-digit. Anyway, I owned $100 million worth of Batman credit cards. However, for this group only, I have put a package together consisting of 20 CDs, 14 DVDs. Sir, are you okay? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding, of course. But the card is very often sold on eBay. It's been sold for $2,000, well, because it had somebody's signature on it or something. One of the things I tell people, the Batman credit card, it allows you to go into the bat room. Mm-hmm. Men's, women's. That's pretty bad.
That's good.
But anyway, I've had a lot of fun with it. I still have pretty close to 250,000.
You're a very, very select group of people. I mean, yeah.
So, that's
your real credit
That's my
card.
key to the room here. Wait 1 second. Okay, the Batman credit card, and it has a signature panel on the back. And I tried to pay my hotel bill with this. It didn't work. But it says not good for payment of income tax. What else? Just some. But it's from 1966. 1966. 46 years ago. And that is one of my biggest failures, but one of the ones that I've had the most fun with. So you never know.
And we all benefit from it.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Joe.
Thank you
very much.
Thanks so much.
Dean.
That's awesome. I appreciate it. Awesome. Give it up, Joe Sugarman.
One last thing. I'm into health and fitness. We have a health and fitness company. If you want to write down my email address, it's joesugarman@aol.com. I know, it's funny. And the other one is I have some. I'll leave some brochures in the back. I'm sorry, Joe, but I got to put in a plug. It's my nature. I mean,
You are a marketer.
Yeah,
It's like asking a fish not to swim. It's what they do.
It's like asking a fish. Okay.
It's the best thing I could come up with.
That's really good. Yeah, that was brilliant.
That was really very smart.
That was deep. I know it was deep.
Yeah, very deep. And the other thing is, I'll have some brochures. If you're in the health and nutrition area, like I said, like Joe asked me, I'm 74. I do 25 chin-ups. I don't take any prescription medication. And our goal is to... Thank you. Our goal is to live to 120. That science is moving so quickly that it's very possible now.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working towards. And so I'll have some brochures back there. If you want to check out our website, it's STEM, that's like in stem cell, STEM, 120.com.
STEM 120.
And I've got a special treat. 25% off if you enter something.
Batman. Is that? No, not Batman.
Yeah, the special order code is AFF25. AFF25.
That's right.
That's the special order code, and that you get 25% off for this group here. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Please give those credit cards to Eunice or whoever, and we'll figure out how to distribute them.
It's very interesting what he said there. That Batman originated in 1966, and I just happened to be born in 1966. Robin, would you say Robin is older or younger than Batman? When was your birthday, Joe?
Mine was 2468.
1968, if I believe, is a little younger, but not saying anything. Ed Dale is here, and Ed is going to blow your mind right now, so that's all I need to say. Go ahead and blow their minds.
Okay,
Awesome.
no worries.
In
Thanks,
45
guys.
minutes or less.
In 45 minutes or less. Okay, hit it. All right. Blow your minds in 45 minutes or less. I'm not going to say what a great conference this has been because, frankly, I don't know about you guys, but after yesterday, with Lou Ferrigno being here talking about worshipping the lower part, you had last afternoon the Incredible Hulk. Today you have the Incredible Bulk. So I was feeling pretty poor about myself then. Then Dr. Ken arrived. And so I was up in my hotel room last night, rocking in the fetal position, mainlining M&Ms and texting and checking Twitter on my iPad. So, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, marvelous. Just great. So, just hands up again who had iPads. It was just because I just hold them up high and then look around the room. Quite extraordinary. Given, where people were, they're 2 and a bit years old. But I want to talk about, as much as technology is cool, I think there are some fundamental issues that we need to address about what's going on in terms of marketing, because my beat, if you will, in terms of marketing is understanding what's coming next. But it's also practical results. That's why I started the challenge in 2005. And we've had over 190,000 people make their first dollar online. So, apart from, that is photoshopped. There was an evil campaign by some friends to try frame me wearing a mankini in various places. So that is me at the Tour de France. Things you find online with people who know SEO. My background was I was very fortunate in the dot-com days to sell my first company for $3.5 million, which was lovely, and my second for $5 million, which is even lovelier. And we listed 30DC Inc. in September 2010, which is pretty cool. But the basis of what we've always done is by practical results, because to me, making the first dollar is the most important dollar you make, right? And unfortunately, there's so much stuff that you see which is all about I made $30,000 a month or $1 million days and all that sort of thing. What you don't see is the 2 years of preparation which built them to that point, right? And that's the reality, because let me tell you, seeing me mainlining M&Ms in my shorts and not much else for 16 hours on my computer in my dingy office does not make sexy video. I tried video, certain marketing, and I failed miserably. It was they are only 2 minutes long, so it didn't quite work. While I've got the opportunity, we have to acknowledge this gentleman. Gary Halbert taught me everything I know about direct marketing. I had the privilege of working with Gary for 6 months, and I still hear him every day in that grumpy bear-like voice that he had. And in so many things, he would be great if he was here today, because he would be sitting around saying, "I told you so." I remember one of the first conversations I had with Gary was I finally convinced him, because if you read the Gary Halbert newsletter, and by the way, the entire archive is online and one of the greatest resources that you could ever have. You should read every single one. And I finally, for years, he was bagging the internet. And I finally convinced him that the internet was a marketing platform and was something that you could actually do something with. So his very next pronouncement after that was, forget putting an order form on this, put a phone number. And people laughed at him and mocked him and said, "Hey, what do you got? Why? We're ordering on why would somebody, if they're on the internet, order on the phone?" Well, have you looked at a home insurance or any sort of pay-per-click ad that costs $20 or more? What do they do now? Phone number. They get you on the phone. So he's ahead of his time then. He used to take off, he would write his copy, and he would take off, and he'd drive, he'd put it aside, and he'd go for a drive. And we'd go do many of those drives up to Fort Lauderdale or wherever. Turns out, of course now with the brain imagery that we have, it's absolutely now proven that the best way to get the best editing process working is to do all the content first. I remember reading his first drafts of sales letters, and you'd be reading along and it'd be like, this putter is made from the foreskin of a virgin albino seal. And I'm going, what? You can't say that. Well, and he says to me, well, I'm going to pick it up in editing, aren't I? Because he realised that if he stops, he loses the flow. And in this day and age, of course, if we stop and we think, oh, what's that YouTube video? 7 hours later, you're still watching those cool surfing dog things. He taught so much, and it was fantastic. And it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to acknowledge him. And for those of you who haven't read the Gary Halbert letter and seen all that stuff, please do it, because the fundamentals don't change. Just because I'm going to show you some amazing cool stuff now, it doesn't mean the fundamentals have changed one iota. Because there is a problem, right? Who would like more traffic at their website? Hands up high. Yeah, that's the problem. Right, and hey, there's only 3 ways to get get traffic. It's only 3. Pay for it. 1. Organic traffic, in other words, traffic from search engines. Or 3rd, market leadership. In other words, people know about you, want to seek you out, and make the effort to find you and follow what you see, rate, watch and do. One of the things I love about I Love Marketing and the I Love Marketing podcast, look at the community that's been built over this last 2 years. It's extraordinary through a podcast. That's marvellous. So we've only got those 3 things. That's it. Pay, organic, market leadership. Now, the trouble with the middle one, the organic one, the SEO one, this is a little weeny tinsy problem, is that you can't manipulate it anymore. Right? Sorry. People might tell you that, People might tell you, oh, I can get you a number one spot. They might be able to get you a number one spot. They can't guarantee you a number one spot. And I don't know about you, but if I was a coffee shop and I had to wake up every morning wondering if somebody's going to walk in my door that day, it's not a healthy way to live. Whereas if you've got a tribe, if you've got a market that actively seeks you out and is interested in what you have to do and say, that is worthwhile. Because our problem is attention. I come from a little town called Beechworth in northeast Victoria, and I grew up in the 70s. And in Beechworth, population 3,000, there was 2 TV channels, 1 radio station, and 1 newspaper which was published weekly, which my grandmother referred to as the 2-minute silence. That was it. That was media. What does my 11-year-old daughter have to deal with in just a single day? What are you guys all dealing with in a single day? I mean, when I think about the number of messages that each of you have, that you've come here to dedicate the 3 days to this, it blows my mind. And so we've got to compete for that attention. And that's tough. That's tough. I promised I wouldn't be a Debbie Downer on this stuff, but trust me, stay with me, stay with me. That photo, do you know where that is? It's across the street. That used to be a Borders, a Staples, and a couple of other big stores. So you look at that photo, and you can say that's a commentary on a bad economy. Bull. It's not bad, it just moved. It's not bad, it just moved. And unfortunately, if you're in the industries that have been disrupted, that's a pretty sad place to be. And the definition of a disrupted industry is an industry that doesn't know what's going on until it's too late. Way too late. Just how it happens. So, we're in a bad economy, right? I didn't study history while I was at school. I was an extremely poor student. But I do it now. Anybody recognise what those things are? That is the internet in 1929. They are the little blue books, taught to me by Gary Halbert, E. Edward Haldeman. And these sold for 5 cents a piece. They were on all sorts of topics: spelling, self-taught, a dictionary of geographical names, the enjoyment of reading. They were also novellas by H.G. Wells. Every major writer of the day wrote these little blue books. In the Depression, if you calculate how much they made in the 3 years post-1929, it would be $15 billion in today's money. 15 billion. So things work. Things always work, but things move. The economy moves. Coffee. Who's had a coffee today? Who purchased a coffee today? Hands up high. Have a look. I didn't pay attention to Lou. I've had multiple. Coffee. Sales of coffee go through the roof in bad economic times. Why? Why does the little blue book work? Why does coffee work? Any guesses? Little escapes. Thanks, Monica. Perfect. Little escapes. Little momentary bits of pleasure that we can afford. I wonder where we're getting that now. I wonder. One more depressive part, and I promise then we'll bring things up. I promise. Top 20. I posit this to you. It's controversial, but I posit it to you. That in your market, if you are not one of the top 20 influencers, you are, and I believe the scientific term is, stuffed. If you are not in the top 20 influencers in your market, in this day and age, in this environment, you are stuffed. Because it's the attention issue. Here's the good news though. If you're in the top 20, you really, 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 really have to stuff it up not to make money. It's an unfair game. Think about any hobby, niche, or anything that you can possibly think of. Don't care what it is. There'll be a top 20, the influencers, and they're all making money. You know, in the internet marketing world, how do you know if you're in the top 20, by the way? Do you want to know that little test? It's very easy. Ask yourself, how many of the top 20 people in my list, when you've made it, and I'll use the term reading, but it doesn't necessarily, it could be listening to podcasts, it could be video, it could be whatever. How many of that top 20 are reading your stuff? If you can answer the 20, guess what? You are the 20. You are in the 20. If you can answer no, then you're not. In internet marketing, I've done all right. And I can safely say the top 20 people read my stuff. But before you think I'm a complete and total utter wanker, let me just bring myself down a second. There's another area where I think I'm a genius, which is in all things Apple. Get it? Apple genius? Sorry. Guess how many of the top 20 people in Apple read my incredibly informational, screes on all things Apple and strategy? Well, 3. 3. Do I make any money in the Apple market? 0. Although I have got my revenge, but that'll come later. But I'm not an influencer. To me, remember our 3 traffic areas? Influence, paid, and organic? Well, here's the thing. If you become a market leader, guess what? That's the only way organic is happening. That's how you're going to get the search results. Because if I put in the New York Yankees into Google and I don't get the New York Yankees website, what happens to Google? It'll be irrelevant. It will be gone. Because it's the New York Yankees. What drives that? Does Google decide the New York Yankees are the New York Yankees? Or all their feral fans? That's right, they're feral, loud, obnoxious fans. That's what makes it. And that's what you've got to be in your markets, right? And technology is a tool to help you get there. But the fundamentals are you have to be one of those influencers. And the good news is, if you're not, there is a step-by-step process for you to become somebody in that top 20. It is literally check the box. It is a time-tested and proven methodology for doing it. So, let's bring it back. 1994. Remember what you were doing in 1994. Did you see that cover on Time magazine? Because that, on July 20th of 1994, was the first time anybody out of an academic institution had ever heard of the word the internet. That was it. Day one. I remember I was being driven down, we were going to play golf down the peninsula. You've got to come down there, Dean. Playing golf down the peninsula, and I read that magazine. And I thought, that is the future. Right then and there. My domain registrar name, I don't know if you know, everybody gets assigned a registration code. Mine is AUD, Australia, 5. And you know what the tragedy is? Is that there was one bastard, Robert Ells, I'm talking to you. There was one postgrad student in the University of Melbourne who was responsible for issuing domain names for the whole of Australia. And so as soon as I read this article, I want boats.com, I want furniture.com, I want this. So I go to, and he said, no, sorry, you can't have them. And I'm going, yes, anyway. Hey, you win on some, you lose some. I can actually say that I went to every single website on the internet in one day. Yep. and when Yahoo first launched, which was run out of a caravan, would you believe, on the campus at Stanford, there were 50. There were 50 websites. That was it. And so it did all right. But hey, say you were doing something like perhaps you had a life in 1994, as opposed to me. Then you might have missed that. Bugger. What were you doing in 1998 then? 16 years of South Park. 16 years. Bless it. Yes, when Cartman was respecting my authority, even if you'd missed 1994, if you'd had a website in 1998, how do you think you would have gone? Knowing what you know now. Right? Those 4 years wouldn't have mattered one iota. Guess what? It's 1998. And we have the new economy, and it's because of those things. Just look around you. Look who's on their phone. Bless you. Don't worry, I was on the phone too, because Dr. Ken, sorry. I'm going to have to look at my life now. It's just so terrible. It's a real problem. 38% of you Yanks had a smartphone that was able to access the internet this time last year. 51% of you, as of today, have a smartphone with access to the internet. That is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. But that's not all. 53% of you look up local businesses through your smartphone and don't go anywhere near Google. Who does local business consulting here? One of the biggest, wonderful, most important areas of growth. Because people are looking, who's looked up a business on their smartphone in the last week? Look around. Yet people are building games, app games. That's great. Awesome. I love a game as much as you, but I don't know how to market the things. 400 million credit cards. Amazon has 150 odd. 400 million active iTunes credit cards. Who likes customers with credit cards? Mind-blowing statistics. Mind-blowing. But this is the most mind-blowing of all. 82 million. In the first 2 years, the iPad has sold 82 million units. Now, here's the thing. Here's a tip in presentation skills. If I just say 82 million, you go, it sounds like a big figure, but I don't know. Well, let's put it this way. Nothing in human history has ever sold 82 million of anything in its first 2 years. Nothing. Not Cokes, not McDonald's burgers, not Twinkies, not M&Ms. Nothing has sold 82 million units in its first 2 years. This is insanity beyond insanity. And by the way, there wasn't even 82 million Netscape browsers downloaded. Google didn't have 82 million users in its first 2 years, and they're free. It costs $499 for the first 2 years to buy an iPad. Hello? By definition, do people who own iPads have spare income? Because let's face it, one of the first criticisms of the iPad, what are you going to use it for? You got a computer, you got a phone, you don't need an iPad. How many iPads in the room again? Look around you. Just look around. Look at breakfast in the hotel. Look at the airport as you're leaving. It's everywhere. You need to have a smartphone strategy. You need to have a tablet strategy. I don't care whether you do anything that I'm talking about or something, but you've got to do it. You know, if somebody looks up your business on a smartphone and you've got a website with flash, flash, sorry, I can't say it. I hate flash more than I hate the Nazis. Here's why. Because small businesses all over the world and Namibia have, by the way, I can speak Namibian. You ready? Hi. Afrikaners for hello. Try to cater for all the audience here, that's all. If they type in your smartphone, you've got a flash website like every restaurant on the planet, it seems. Guess what? I can't see your menu. They don't know where to find you. I get this funny blank page. It's nuts. And so easily solved by you all for a fee. Why do we focus on the iPad and not the other tablets? Kindle Fire, Samsung. That's funny. 98% of all web traffic recorded by tablets is on an iPad. So most of the Samsungs are in a drawer somewhere. Or you, sir. That's okay, I know. I see you there. It's not my conference. I would have had all the Android owners thrown out, but it's not my conference, so I can't. It's like an affirmative action program, you know. Special needs. So, where's the beef? Let's have a look. Let me share some stories. Let me do it using the iPad. First of all, I just want to show you something. Just to try and get across the scale. This is a chart here. This is a little dynamic chart. And these are Mac unit sales versus the iPad sales. Just so you can visualize this. So, you know, Mac sales have been outgrowing PC sales for, you know, the last, you know, since 2005. And they've been doing well, you know, we're talking, you know, 2.2 million, 2.1, and then the iPad's released. And, oops, watch that green. Whoa, whoa boy. All that, woo! In 2 years. That's actually less than 2 years, that chart. It's unbelievable. Do you think there might be an opportunity in iPads? Have I done that job today? Have I convinced you? Excellent. I want to do something cool. You might remember Annaline Dinkelman. She was the person who asked the first question here at the conference. You there, Annaline? Just wave. Guess what? She just published a magazine an hour ago. She hasn't even seen it herself. This is her magazine, and I want to show you this process. So, apps. What did I say about coffee? And what did I say about the little blue books? Little pleasures. 99-cent hits of distraction from anything else I'm doing. They go gangbusters in any economy. How many people have bought an app, even on an Android, in the last week or so? Look around. It's everybody. So, here's the thing. We're all in the information marketing business, right? So who loves a continuity program? Who loves a successful continuity program? Me. Bless it. I love it. Who loves setting up successful continuity program order forms? Nobody puts their hand up. You ready to see how it's done? Okay, here we go. Oh, I've only got a few minutes left and I've got to fill out all these forms to do my continuity program, right? Oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm going to hit the subscribe button. Then I'm going to hit, okay, I'm going to have monthly subscription. All right, okay.
Confirm subscription. Do you want to subscribe? You're offering me a free trial. Thanks, Annaline. Good on you. 1 month free trial. Is that useful in a marketing context? Have you ever seen an app that's had a 1 month free trial? Oh, okay, this is cool. Let's confirm. Okay, I'm going to type in my Apple password so everybody in Namibia can see it. Could we, thank you. I love DJ. Cool. Okay, we can fling back. Hope I typed it in properly. Ah! Typing under pressure, people. Now I'm stressing. Come on, I can do it. I can do it. I can do this. I can do this. Come on. Come on, baby. Screwed this up. This will be a total stress. Woohoo! Okay. So I've, with my ADD and everything else that Dr. Ken's told me about, which I'm still dealing with. Share your information. The publisher of Dink's New Eye would like your name, email, and zip code. Zip code. Did you pick that up? Zip code. Remember that. In accordance with their privacy policy, your subscription will be extended by another month if you give us their email. Awesome. Yeah, sure. 93% of people at the moment say yes. I'm sure that figure will drop over time, but for people who are quick, 93%. And what email did I just deliver to Annaline? My Apple iTunes email. That's like the most important email address on the planet. How can I buy all the cover versions of Call Me Maybe without that email address? I protect that email with my life. It's the best email to have. I've subscribed successfully, and it's downloading automatically. That is continuity. And that is the reason that Amazon one-click, apps, all of this stuff has become so popular. And it's a problem for us because here we are getting people to try fill out long forms and all these details and send them off to websites when they're already on their phones for our products. We've got to get with the program. Muhammad can no longer go to the mountain. We have to create a lot of mountains and let Muhammad choose. That's just got to be the way it happens. So that's awesome. So that's downloading now. Let me share some stories. Because people love to share, super success stories and things like that. Dog Park Magazine. This is awesome. Oh, look at this. Don't miss issue 2, articles on food, first aid, chihuahuas, service dogs, and much more fun stuff. I can subscribe for free. Have you ever seen that with an app? No, I haven't. This is interesting, don't you think? Something's weird here. What's going on? Not right now, though, thank you. These, if you call them a magazine, it would be a misnomer because that's how the magazine industry, what I'm showing you here is Apple's newsstand. Okay, it was something that was released only last year. And it's a completely different part of the App Store and it allows a whole bunch of things which I've been cheekily showing you, which a normal app does not. Till cancel continuity. Email. It offers you email. You can't get that from Amazon or a Kindle program. It offers you their email if they give you permission. It allows you to subscribe. It allows you to give you free content away. It allows you to do things totally free or different. The reason I love this is this was done, this technology, the Magcast technology, has been available for now 105 days. 144 people have published their first magazine
in everything from dog parks to watch collecting to all sorts of things because it's so bloody easy. Right? Because all you do, who knows when I say PDF, what that means? Right, the basis of this is a PDF. If you can output a PDF, if you can use Pages or Word or InDesign or Keynote or PowerPoint or anything, this one, believe it or not, was designed in Keynote. Right? So you can do that. This is another magcast that's, check this out. Horse management on your smartphone. We're currently developing a equine calculator. Do you want to register? Be notified. Have we seen that somewhere before? That's direct market. Look, this is direct marketing on the platform that's growing at the fastest rate anything has ever grown in history. So, the ability to, and look, it asked me to rate the app. So you've got horse magazines. You can, any niche that you can possibly think of. But here's the thing. Do you know how many apps there are? Anyone? 700-odd thousand on iOS alone. There's 3,500 magazines on Newsstand at the moment. Do you know where Newsstand is? This is what you're looking at here. This is the Newsstand. Do you know where that is? It's on the front page of every one of the 400 million iPhones and iOS. That's right, you can't get it off. Correct. Woo! We're thrilled about that. You can't get it off. So you can use it. And what's been brilliant about this is that it means, like this is Charles here, just to give you the power of iOS. Right? He's very successful guitar website. His website is incredibly successful. Over the past 3 years, he's developed up a mailing list of over 7,000 people. It took him 3 years to build it up from absolute scratch for that particular market. Cool. It took him 3 months to add another 7,000 names with, guess how much he spent? 0. Because people are looking for entertainment on their phones. They're looking to learn stuff. And what's cool then, of course, guess what he does in the magazine? He sells his course. Because while you're inside the magazine experience, you can actually read and you can download websites and you can have your website pop up to order stuff or to opt in. And we use magazines, but really this is what's super cool about this. You can get lessons. I'm on this slow hi-fi here, but hello. It's just not magazines as usual, right?
Right, in this tune we're using what's known as 16th note strumming together with a new chord which is basically F sus4. Alright, so we haven't looked at this chord yet, so let me quickly show you how to play F sus4. So you have finger 3, fret.
So all of a sudden, you can do all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, what's this one here? Ooh, this is interesting. I love marketing. I always wanted to do this. I saw Billy Joel do it once on a concert, and yeah. Yes, I'm sad. I'm sorry. Check this out. I'm Dean Jackson, and I'm Joe Polish, and this is I Love Marketing. Although this is even more important. That is an opt-in page, right, built in the magazine. Type it in, not going anywhere, not distracting out of anywhere, no pop-ups, anything. The opt-in page is right in the magazine. Here we are.
I'm Dean Jackson.
Podcast.
He's Joe Polish.
Right in the
And
magazine.
This is the I Love Marketing podcast.
Oh, you want the transcript? Sure. PDF in the magazine. Who has some PDFs or audio or video lying around? I wonder, do you think there's any duplicate content issues with Google if you put content that you've already put on the internet in a magazine? No. No, not at all. Which makes it fascinating. Because doing a magazine is hard, right? I used to do one. I had a NASCAR magazine in Melbourne, Australia. It was Days of Thunder, Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise, it was in the air. Yeah, it was a bad idea. But it cost $30,000 a month to produce. Because with the print costs, the traditional film and all of that sort of stuff, it was a nightmare. I almost went bankrupt over it. It was bad news. Bad news, bad. But here's the thing now. There are 3 titanic forces which have conspired to make this process so simple that anybody can do it. The first one, something dear to our heart, is outsourcing. These magazines that you see here. Oh, other languages? Did you know there are 155 app stores, not one? And that you can publish, and by the competition that you have in the, say, the Polish version of the App Store is near zero compared to what you do in the US. Where do you get things translated these days? It's easy, right? Monica is here. This is Monica's magazine in Germany. That's you, look, it's you, it's here. How about this? It is. Who would have said 6 months ago, yes, she would be a publisher. And because she told me before, I'm going to subscribe, but guess what she did? She gave me a code, which I'm happy for you to see. If you want to download Monica's, it's VIP 12. And that'll get you... I cannot type. What is it? Is it VIP capitals? Okay. Better be. What, John, if you want to download our magazine, DM magazine, what is it, John? I Love Marketing. If you want to get DM magazine, just type in I Love Marketing. There you go. That's a 12-month subscription. So you just type in, there we are, beautiful. You can use coupon codes, you can give away freebies, you can do, the marketing choices you have in your market are unlimited. But what's even better, and what really excites me, is that, check this out. Guy who does this is a great guy, but with all the love in the world, he was, and I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying this, a complete and utter nobody in information marketing. In 3 months, he's got Seth Godin on the front cover and contributing an article. Pretty cool. He doesn't even answer email. No, he does. He's very good. But here's the thing. Why? Why is this? Because of the second force. Right? Because you've got the ability, people are publishing content. We've got unlimited content. The world is full of unlimited content. There's unlimited videos on YouTube. Google is collating every 2 days the amount of data that was made from 0 to 2003. Every 2 days. So there's unlimited content. This creates opportunity. Because what do we need? We've got people's attention, and you, in your market, need to be a curator of the best stuff so people can get it in their magazine and see it. They can see the videos, they can see it. You don't have to write a thing. And if anybody approaches me and says, hey, Ed, would you mind if I love that blog post on Burn the Ships. Would you mind if I reprinted it in my magazine? Oh, no, thank you, I don't want the publicity. No, I'm trying to keep it on the down low. It's a no-brainer. And, oh, by the way, if you take the phone call, oh, hello, yep, oh, we'd like to feature you on our new iPad magazine cover. Steve Jobs dropped everything for covers. He understands the power of a cover, the influence that people are getting. If you want to get market influence, have a magazine. It's unbelievable. It's extraordinary what is going on here. And in all different areas, in trading, a thing called push notifications. Are people familiar with push notifications? Push notifications are those little messages that pop up on your phone. They're not the text messages, but they're the system push notifications. That's built right in. You can do that, right? And that dog park magazine, if I'd set up a website on dog parks in the United States and I did no advertising and did nothing, how many subscribers do you think I would have in the first month? Zero, unless I told my mum about it. And even then, she probably wouldn't subscribe. Got mummy issues too, Dr. Ken. We will talk. 1,460. Month one. It's because the traffic's here. Where's the traffic? Who surfs the web anymore? They're on Facebook. They're on apps. They're usually on the Facebook app on the phone. Right? It's the new world we're in. And what's awesome for you guys is that it's 1998. And with all you know about marketing, with everything that you know, you can be like Tom Cruise in Far and Away on that horse with that flag, flying across the field in California to get your plot of land. It's extraordinary. Incredible opportunity for you. And now, if you look at, hang on, where's DM magazine here? This is the one you can download. I just wanted to show you something. See there on the one underneath the Jeff Walker cover. It is private. Do you see that? The yellow private. You can publish subscriber-only content on the page, right? Which is pretty sweet. And guess what happens if you're not a subscriber and you click on it? It goes, oh, sorry. If you're a subscriber, you could get this. But hey, guess what? Write it now. If you click this blue button and type in your password, you've got it. It's yours. And you're subscribed. Awesome. It's really cool. Look at this. Just look at these magazines. These didn't exist 100 days ago. Because the third part of that wheel, by the way, is outsourcing. Do you know how much it costs to... Where's it? There's a watch collecting, time management, all sorts of cool stuff there. I just tapped on one. See what happened then? Oh, hang on, I'll put it up so you can see. I just tapped on one, so it'll, if I didn't cut it out, it'll have opened up the App Store. You can put subscriber buttons. You can put Facebook like buttons. You can do YouTube. You can do everything in the app. What's there? Watch collecting, Secrets of the Secret, Fast Pitch, the softball magazine. It's quite extraordinary. I'll just show you this last one because this is a bit of a favourite of mine. That's Gypsy Jazz Guitar Secrets. How more niche can you get? But this is what's super cool about this. Can you see those three along the top there? They're $49, $24.99 and $24.99. They're his courses. built in to the app. Because what's a course? Audio, video, and writing. That's effectively it, right? So you can package it up and put it in here. An average magazine to design, if you totally outsourced it and get a brilliant designer, is about a couple $100. Anywhere from 50 to a couple $100. Now, would any of you be interested in having a look at something like this? Well, there's a problem because you can't get it. Right, we closed it down, right, which is really sort of stupid on my behalf. Now, we really wanted to see how people would do with it. And we were stunned that 144 people, when we first launched this, have published their magazines in just the first 100 days. I checked around, in terms of implementation rates, there's never been a course that has been implemented as well as this, that's so obviously implemented like this. You can go and see all 144 on there. It's unbelievable. So, the trouble is, Dean Jackson has pictures. So, just for today and tomorrow only, we want to open this up. You're the only people that this will be opened up to, if you want to do it. When we launched it, I'm definitely don't pitch. It was $1,997, and that gets you your magazine, your app. If you've priced building an app that does all of this, I mean, it's ridiculously expensive. You get all the materials, the training courses. You know, Monica, the training courses.
The course is phenomenal, but equally phenomenal is the service, John.
She's saying the service is equally phenomenal. Annaline, did you think you'd be a magazine publisher?
Not at all. The courses were fantastic and the help desk responding to my stupid questions were fantastic.
She was just saying that the help desk response was fantastic. But here's the thing. We have corporates selling this to organisations that have sales forces, local magazines. Did I mention that as of yesterday, you could do push notifications based on where somebody was? By zip code. So if a reader of your magazine is in a certain zip code, you can send them a specific promotion. Can anybody use that? So, look, we'd love you to be part of this. And remember that I said about the influence and how to be a top 20 and that there was a step-by-step plan? That's a course called Always Be Shipping. And what I want to do is I just want to give you that with Magcast. Okay, if you decide to do Magcast, we will give you that as well. Okay, and also 3 months into the immediate edge, which is the support and all the cutting edge techniques that we do day to day. It's the longest running marketing education continuity program on the planet, right, in terms of online marketing. We'd love you to have part of that as well. It's $1,997. We're not going to discount it because that's an insane price. For an app, there's nothing more to pay. If you sell 1 million issues, that's all your money. You get your own app. You become an app developer yourself. It's your stuff, but you don't have to worry about anything. It is unbelievable, and there are 144 people who just in the last 100 days have become market influencers in their market with this. It really is an outstanding opportunity. And look, if you're interested in doing it today, and the guys are up the back there, the first 10 of you who take up the offer today, I'll do 5 one-on-one, you and me personally, half-hour sessions with you to make sure your magazine's smick and that we get the marketing in your magazine right as well. So there's that. But whatever you do, please go and do something in this market because it's going to be unbelievable. You've got to be part of this. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I'm here for the rest of the weekend. If you've got, I'd hurry. Thanks. You and me can talk. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, hang on. How many people have an idea that you think might fit for a magazine that you could put on the iPad. Now, Ed intentionally didn't talk about the mechanics of how to do this. The app does all of this for you, and there's complete training course on how to actually do it step by step. I'm happy that Ed was just sharing ideas. I wanted you to get the stimulus to think about how you can do this. That I Love Marketing magazine that Ed was showing you there, that's going to be on the newsstand. That first issue there has all of our top 10 episodes. We've got the Breakthrough DNA article, some of the best interviews with Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Tim Ferriss. I mean, Frank Kern, Eben Pagan, all of these people in one magazine. It's amazing. You press the button and it plays right there. There's so many ideas for this. We're going to do an episode of I Love Marketing with Ed where we'll talk more about ideas and more about all the things that you guys are hopefully going to do with all of this. So, Ed, thanks so much for sharing.
My pleasure.
And thank you for opening it up for us.
No
Awesome.
worries.
Thank you. You know, and honestly, like, how could you, if something like that exists and it's this new, it's this awesome, how can we not bring it to you? And I mean, you got to. This is cutting edge shit. So there you go.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do, because we need to take a break. We don't need to take a break. We're going to just have Robin come up, but I think it would be good for you guys to take a break because the next presenter, who's not going to sell anything, by the way, the next presenter is awesome. And so can you guys can you do a 15-minute break and be back here at 5? 5?
That's it.
Yes? Yes? All right, good. Be back at 5.